We're delighted that Strawmax are supporting Alphabetti Spaghetti, one of the best shows that we have. And in true Alpha style, here is a little bit more about this incredible straw pellet bedding. So the S, it saves time, it saves money, and it's sustainable. The T, it's time saving. The R stands for real straw. It's really comfortable, really fluffy, really soft, and really easy. The A, it's absorbent and available. W, waste not, it is 100% natural. M, money saving, maximise your pennies, minimise the muck heap. A follows on, it's affordable. X is for extra easy and extra economical. Who does not love any of those qualities? For more information, go to strawmax.co.uk.
Oh God, it's so exciting.
Happy Hail Bob Day.
It is a happy Hail Bob Day.
Hello, the curse of Diarm.
It's the best finishing score we've seen at 5-star level.
That was our elo coming into the competition.
Eventing manager is back.
Best show that we have, Alphabetti Spaghetti.
Looking forward to seeing quality horses.
Still a great day for Ireland.
Thank you very much for coming on the show.
I mean, you're a bit of an eventing geek just like us.
And it's time to get on with the show.
It's Alphabetti Spaghetti. It's the letter Y. And Y is next door to Z or Z, depending on where in the world you live. Which makes this the second last episode ever of Alphabetti Spaghetti. Now, Nicole Brown is jumping up and down over on the sponsor arm of EquiRatings right now, saying absolutely not. Let's let this spectacular, wonderful, popular show, one of, by the way, the only shows that we have sponsored as a series, like Overview and all those shows, they didn't get this. Maybe Your Cup of Tea show, Nicole, could rival it, but there's not many shows that arrived in their original form and stayed sponsored. But this is the end. This is the last Alphabetti, second last Alphabetti. The final Alphabetti, of course, don't forget, will be invite only, and it'll be based on a popular vote, which I love, kind of like the Colosseum, where people stand and give the thumbs up or the thumbs down to people. So you'll get all of these guests and you'll get people like Fred and Catherine and Jenny. But I think, Nicole, is there only 4 places or 5 places on that final? Something like that. I'll decide in time. Maybe 5. But it'll probably be 10 people, and it'll be a kind of a celebrity death club, public vote on Instagram, popularity competitions, all that kind of stuff. I love that.
I don't think I've ever won a popularity contest in my life. So...
No. I'd say you'll probably get a vote. People will probably bring you in.
I mean, I'm just going to put it out there, listeners. If you want to give me the sympathy vote and get me in there, bearing in mind the blood, sweat and tears, then it would be much appreciated. Thanks very much. Thanks for listening. But I'd also say, don't you go being all hasty and killing off Alphabetti. The good people at Strawmax are big supporters of this show. And if they want to do it again, then I am all for doing it again.
I suppose that's where, there's a famous quote about 2 roads meeting in a wood. They don't meet. The roads diverge, I suppose, in a wood. It's poetry knickers. But basically, it goes, the show can go one way or the other. And in my head, this creative piece of art is more like Fawlty Towers or The Office, like the US or the UK office, obviously not the US office, the UK office, where it's just a set series. It's the alphabet one time around. I don't want to turn it into Friends. I don't want to turn it into the US office or anything like that. It's not going to run forever, because those grubby little dollars over there that you love, Nicole, that's not what this show is about. This show is about something very different, and it's about something very special. And ultimately, you won't have a host next year. So there won't be another Alphabetti series. They'll have to just, this is it.
Well, why? What's happening to you?
I'll be doing the agony hour, which I've been trying to do for about 2 years. But everyone's like, no, you have to stick with Alphabetti till the end. Anyway,
okay, well, we'll see. I mean, talk about jumping.
Nicole, no, this is
I would just say we have 4 faces looking at us, D, and they look slightly terrified at what they've let themselves into.
I think they've all been at the start of an Alphabetti. They've all been around me and you to know our bickering for long enough. But yeah, I'll take that as your host's cue to move on. Well, who have we got? It's a very different lineup. It is, speaking of blood, sweat and tears, Nicole, these are the people that make the company run. So we thought, just before we have that celebrity death club at the very end, let's bring on the special people of EquiRatings. Whoever is free and available and wants to spend their afternoons recording Alphabetti episodes the day before the eventing Europeans. That's how far back we are away from the release of this show, lads. We have actually got nearly all. We've got a good part of Britain covered. Quite a geographical range on this show, I would say. There's a few different countries going on. Let's start with the big one. And I cannot stress how difficult it is to get this girl to come onto a podcast. I have tried everything. You hear from her very rarely, unless, of course, you're in EquiRatings, whereby she manages every project. So you hear from her multiple times in a day, often on a Sunday as well, just to let you know what you've got to do in the week ahead. Maz, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Dee. That was a very gracious welcome.
You ready for, do you know how it works?
I do know how it works. Yes. I'm ready. I think this is the best episode for me to be on because I can just go with the flow.
Correct. This is quite a relaxed one. Next in line, you've got the lady who joined us this year. Got to be so careful, Aimee, online these days with lady, girl, woman, female. Really got to be.
Don't you just?
I just literally, as I said, the lady, and then I was like, geez, that's probably not the right way to do it. But then I realized who I was introducing, who deals with that kind of stuff every day. Aimee, how are you doing?
I'm very well. Very excited to be on Alphabetti, the best show that we have.
Well done. And so close to the end.
Well, it did sound like you've drafted in the B team there for the second last episode before the big final episode. So thanks.
Correct.
The B team.
Yeah, I think that would be fair. GP?
Thanks. That is the intro I get. He gives long, lovely interviews to the other two girls and then goes, GP, you're here as well.
That's not fair or true. But it was accurate in that case. How should I introduce you, GP? I mean,
don't worry about it because, GP, there is a show and I think it might be Alphabetti X where D is very complimentary about you. So he's obviously used up all of his compliments, but he basically is really complimentary about you and would like two of you in his life. So he is nice about you. He just might not say it to your face.
I mean, he spends quite a lot of his time calling his child GP, so he definitely wants more of me.
Yeah, I have called her Georgia.
I mean, imagine that like D would be your dad, Georgia. That would be scary.
Already taking all kinds of weird turns this show.
Yeah, no. There you go. That's what you get for asking.
What he's actually hoping for is that Rosa grows up to be as fabulous as me.
That's it.
That's bang on.
If I could get her to work Excel, then I wouldn't need you anymore. And we could just keep all this stuff in-house. Finally,
learn GP. I could learn Excel himself, GP. That's what you should have said there.
No. Yeah, missed opportunity.
Rosie, how are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. I'm looking forward to being on the show. Listened to it multiple times, different episodes, and edited it a couple of times. I do end up in fits of laughter when editing it, so I got to try and, compose myself when I'm actually on the show. But now I'm looking forward to it.
Right, let's get going. We have this is actually quite a short show, lads. That's the positive news. This is actually going to fly. Maz, I'll start with you. Is youth wasted on the young?
Oh, geez. I really wasn't prepared for this. Is youth wasted on the young? Yeah, no, I don't. I think the older you get, the less you care. And I think that needs to be imparted on the young. So no, I don't think youth is wasted on the young.
Yeah. Got some children amongst us. Rosie?
Yeah.
I mean, this is great.
No, I like being young and youthful. I mean, I get what Maz is saying. Like a lot of older people in my life, they really just do not care. They say what they think. And I think that sometimes I wish I could be like that. And I think that a lot of the young aren't like that. But no, I like being young. It's good fun. And, if you mess up, you just say, I'm young, it's a good excuse.
Yeah.
You're all. I mean, the young people on our team, like, and Harry was there as well. Who's I don't know what age Harry is, but he's very young anyway. But you're all quite mature, aren't you? Like, I don't think I was like that when I was your age. Like, I was quite a way away from where you are, kind of all getting on with your lives. Like, GP, you're still a baby and you're doing all sorts.
I mean, I packed up my life and moved to Ireland at 21. I mean, I also wasted my uni years. I think you can waste your uni years.
How did you waste your uni years?
It's not a waste.
I didn't go out enough.
Yeah.
I mean, I was like, I'll get up in the next morning and ride instead of going out. I regret that now.
I get you. I kind of wish I went out more, but then COVID came and I was stuck in during uni.
He was in college recently.
That excuse.
So what, Rosie? Was that your last year, Rosie?
Basically, my last year and a half was spent inside. I was halfway through second year when COVID first came along, and then I spent third year locked inside. Well, I mean, I got an awful lot done and probably did better than I would have if we didn't have COVID. But yeah, I think I went out total of 8 times during the 3 years at uni.
Oh no!
I mean, that's about the same as me. Unfortunately, I didn't have COVID as an excuse.
Knickers, were you a party animal when you were a baby? I mean, you're not.
Young Farmers was her gig.
I mean, I was a fair old Young Farmers party animal, but I also sort of had a mortgage at 21 and was married by 23 and everything. So I was born with old head on young shoulders, I think.
Seems to be a bit of a team.
Yeah, maybe it's a prerequisite to work for EquiRatings. I would also say though that I agree with Maria in so much as it's better as you get older. You don't care what people think quite so much. But I do also wish I had the energy of youth. I saw a great thing pop up on Instagram the other day. It was somebody who would have a child similar age to Toby, and it was something about when I wish I was as busy and as tired as I was before having children and having a full-time job now, if that makes sense. And actually that is really true, because you do not realize you're really busy, you're really tired, and then all of a sudden you try and fit everything in and you take it to the next level and you're like, okay, well, I did not know the meaning of busy or tired when I was younger.
I've heard that before.
You're like a Duracell bunny now, Nicole. You just don't stop.
At Blenheim, Rosie was like,
oh my God, I was concerned.
What time are you getting here in the morning? I'll meet you to walk the course. And I was like, oh, well, I've got a call time of 7:15, so I'm going to be here by 6 because that's when it's going to be like. And she was like, yeah, no, I'll walk the course when I get there. Don't blame you.
It's not as much crack as it looks. Knocking around with Nicole at an event. Or just, being around someone with that much energy at that hour of the day. I'd like to start my day slower than Nicole. I think we've discussed that in great detail before. Very relative, though, this conversation. I'm sure there's people listening to this thinking, like, you don't realize how much energy you have now, Nicole. Or me.
Yeah,
goes
true.
Through. This just depends where you are in terms of your concept of young. Aimee, is youth wasted on the young?
Well, I don't know why we're categorizing people into young and old here. I still consider myself to be young.
That's true. I mean, yeah.
I'm still
exactly.
young.
But you can
What's the
answer
threshold
the
here?
Well, I think it's more just the concept rather than the actual the threshold online. It's more just like, I suppose, like when you're young, you don't really appreciate all that you have.
Yeah, no, I agree. You don't appreciate how much time you have. You don't appreciate that you're having the best time that you're going to have. Like, if I look back at my school and uni days, like, I thought I had the weight of the world on my shoulders, and looking back, it was the time of my life. But
could the same be said for now then? You know what I mean? Could it
like
the weight of the world around your shoulders now? And then you're like, actually, in 10 years' time, you'll be like, that was grand.
Yeah, no, I think that's true. I think I don't think it's wasted on the young, but I think that benefit of hindsight thing. There's things you wish you knew when you were younger. Like if you could talk to your younger self, what you would say, and it would be just to enjoy the now and stop worrying about what's going to happen, in 5 years. So, you spend your whole school career thinking, oh, I'm going to go to uni. What am I going to do? And then you worry at uni what job you're going to have. And, if you could just relax a little bit, it's all going to work out. It's all going to be fine.
Relax a little bit. It's all going to work out. I agree with you, by the way. I think that's... Maz would be an interesting one. This Maz, what would you tell 21-year-old Maz?
Oh gosh, I would say, 21-year-old Maz.
Where was 21-year-old Maz? What was she doing?
21-year-old Maz was in. I was in college. I was in college. I thought I was going to be a police officer the rest of my life. So I would probably tell her, it's not what you think. You'll hate it. You'll get through it. And I think, you know what, that is really insightful, because I feel like a lot of kids in college and in uni think that it's going to be that they have it figured out. And then it's a massive disappointment when you're like, I actually hate all of this. And you're in good company. So I would tell 21-year-old Maz, it's going to get real hard. But you can't imagine where you'll end up.
Do you think 21-year-old Maz would be able to appreciate how profound those words would be? I mean, it's
yes.
She would. Okay, I actually believe you that she would.
More what I'm wondering if 21-year-old Maz would realise is she'd be sat in a flat in Carlow in Ireland.
Right. No, I never thought I'd go more than 2 hours away from my family. So this is not anything that I would have imagined for myself.
I am still fascinated by the fact, because I only found this out fairly recently about you, Maz, that you were a police officer.
Yeah.
So this is news to me as well.
I mean,
talk to me. You didn't know Aimee?
No, this is big news.
Yeah, for 4 years. Yeah,
did you arrest anybody?
What for 4 years?
Come on, Nickers, that's part of the job.
Oh, amazing! What did you arrest them for? What was the most fun thing?
What did I arrest them? The most fun thing? Drugs. Yeah, guys, I got to do some cool things. I won't go into detail on this one. Got to do some cool things. Absolutely hated it. Go ahead.
Did you ever arrest somebody and be like, oh man, I mean, I've got to arrest you because that's the rules, but I'd really like you.
You're ruining, you have the power. They tell us this in the police academy. First of all, here's my synopsis of COP.
Oh my goodness,
you went to the police academy. This is too much. Because I can follow rules and do what you tell me to do, right? Hated the real world, and then got out of it after 4 years deciding what I wanted to do. But I forget what your question was. Oh yeah, you feel bad because you have the power to arrest people. Not even the president, they tell us. Not even the president of the United States has the power to arrest. And you have the power to arrest, and you can ruin someone's life. So you can have someone who's just down on their luck and trying to get through their day. And you have I don't want to spend any, I have to stop myself, but you're arresting them, and you have a lot of power, and it's a lot. You have a lot of young kids like myself with a lot of power. But
was the police academy like the films?
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
It was I've never laughed so much in such a concentrated period of time, like 6 months of pure laughter, but also 6 months of like, when can this just be over? I only saw the videos when I was in police academy.
If I was going to be arrested, I'd like someone like Maz, because she seems like such a nice officer.
I was an idiot. I would be like, oh, you didn't do it? Okay, go, have a good day. And then someone with a little bit more street smarts would be like, yo, John, like, I know you did it. And he'd be like, okay, meanwhile, I was like, oh, what? Come on. You totally pulled the wool over my eyes.
And she's panicking so much about driving on her learner's permit. And now I know why.
No. Yeah. Anyway, I was a different I don't think I could do the job today. No way could I do it today.
I love the idea of being a police officer, but in reality, I'm far too much for wimp.
Yeah, and I have to give a shout out because it is the hardest job. It is incredibly hard. So yeah, shout out to the cops out there. Yeah. I
must say, while we're on Maz, I mean, Maz, we certainly didn't bring you on as a kind of this is your life, but while we're on Maz,
can we not do like a knowing me, knowing you with Maz?
Yeah, I mean, I remember when we interviewed Maz. So I was chatting to Maz for probably about 6 months, maybe even longer. Maz, was it by the time?
Yeah, I can tell you, it was long.
It was long. It was a long time. Maz used to get up at like 5 o'clock in the morning or earlier sometimes, and anyway, we talked through all the possibilities of coming to Ireland and of how different jobs we were doing, and Maz would do different pieces for us. Anyway, eventually, do you remember GP when she was introduced to the team and she appeared on a big screen in Carlow one day? And anyway,
on a very big screen.
Yeah, we used to have an office with a big screen in it. Do you remember those big screens? And I used to stand in front of them and talk about eventing. They were the days when we had an office. But yeah, I remember telling everyone the story about her, police officer days on top of her. I mean, didn't you control the state budget at one point?
Yeah, no, I didn't control it, but I was, I put it together. I wrote it up. Yeah. So after my cop years, I went to work. Yeah. I went to work in finance for the same city while I went back to school for chemistry, as you do.
As you do. I know.
Rewind. You also qualified in chemistry.
Yeah. We took it from a pharma company.
You are like the most qualified person at EquiRatings. Sorry, everybody else.
No, I'm not.
But what the hell? You have the power to arrest us. You're a chemistry teacher.
Chemistry teacher. Not
you ran a state.
Teacher. Yes, she ran the budget.
So, Maz is president. That's what we're basically saying here.
Yeah.
If I ever need a morale boost, you guys, I'll just come on an Alphabetti spaghetti and just get.
And if you need to bring her down again, though, which is always important, so that she surfs the waves of this, you just have to talk to her about driving with a stick, as she calls it.
Driving manual.
Gearbox driving. Not a fan, Maz.
No, you guys. Yeah, I thought I had high hopes, but I had to swallow my pride. Swallow my pride big time. Driving an automatic, happy about it. So we're all good. I appreciated his laughter when I told him.
Yeah, I did. I enjoyed it because I know you and your determination and how much that would annoy you to have to step down from a challenge.
It did.
I enjoyed it. Okay, next one. This is always quite controversial, but I appreciate Deborah for putting this in because I don't think you can ever talk about it enough. She's gone with Yule, as in Christmas, and just said traditions. So we're on to Christmas traditions. Yuletide. Aimee, do you do any weird ones up in the northern part of our country?
No, so I'm actually not the biggest, this is very controversial, I'm not the biggest Christmas fan in the whole world.
I'm surprised.
Right,
really? You're surprised?
You're fired.
Okay, that's harsh.
Why didn't I get that?
Do you know what it is? I think you get really tired by Christmas and you're just ready for a break, and it's a nice period of annual leave destroyed by obligation to be lots of different places. So that's my opinion on Christmas. So this year, COVID was actually one of the best Christmases that we've ever had. So because of COVID, and we went into lockdown basically on Boxing Day. So a few days before Christmas, they said you're allowed to go out for a couple of days and then we're going to lock you down on Boxing Day. So everyone got very fearful, and we just moved house the week prior. So we just moved. It was very stressful. And then we were going to go into lockdown, and everyone said, you know what, we're not going to come to your house at Christmas. And everyone was supposed to come here. We were supposed to host the whole family. And then they all were like, no, we're too scared of COVID. We're going to self-isolate by ourselves. And we were delighted. So William and I, for the first time ever, had Christmas on our own in the house. We locked the door, lit the fire, and had a lovely walk in the morning, and that was the best Christmas we've had in a long time. Hopefully, none of my family will ever listen. I've admitted that out loud, but yeah, it was really nice, and I would like to do that every Christmas. But
you kind of sold it.
Mm-hmm. It was nice. It was nice because it was a nice restful period, whereas normally I think it's really busy and you're out loads and you have to go here, go there and see everyone. And I think it was actually nice just to have a proper, quiet, restful Christmas.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. Everyone's looking at me disapprovingly. They're like, no.
I don't know.
You are the Grinch. Bah humbug.
Do you watch TV at Christmas?
Yeah, well, I think, what did we watch? Bridgerton. It was out.
Oh, Bridgerton, yeah.
I remember seeing ads for it, yeah.
I think we binged on it this year. I mean, I'm also not that into Christmas specials. Like, it's just the whole Christmas. It's like, it's just, you see going out on like a few days before and getting everyone presents and everything. I just can't be doing that. It's very stressful. Yeah. It's not supposed to be so stressful.
That's why you need to plan Christmas, and you get your presents, like you start in the January. I mean, that's a controversial
Nicole, not in January. Have you got your Christmas presents sorted already, I would say? Or you know what you're getting.
I'm not finished. I tend to string out the whole process all year. And then what normally happens is Oliver says to me in a bit of a panic on Christmas Eve, oh my God, I've not bought anybody any presents. I mean, we've been together for 12 years and he actually knows really that I do all the Christmas shopping and the magic fairy wraps them all up and like delivers them. But I love it. I love Christmas. But I would find it very stressful if I had to go Christmas shopping on Christmas Eve and buy everybody presents. That would be...
Yeah.
Well, I use Amazon Prime as the way forward. Everything comes from app. We did cut our own Christmas tree down this year, like from, one that was growing in the fields. So we cut down our own Christmas tree, and I quite like decorating the Christmas tree. That's one Christmas tradition I do enjoy. So there you go. I'm not completely Scrooge.
Grinch.
Yeah.
Young Rosie, do you make the whole family dress up in the same pajamas and that kind of stuff?
No, my dad's not really a Christmas Eve fan. I love Christmas, and when I was in Southampton I loved it because they get like proper Christmas Eve with the Christmas markets and things, and I get all excited. But I do put tinsel around the house, jazz it up a bit, because I do really enjoy it. My sisters, Christmas presents wise, like to send me Excel spreadsheets with the list of presents that they want, where to get it, how much it costs, and we're supposed to liaise with other people as to who's bought what, so that we don't buy the same thing.
I mean, that's killing the old spirit of Christmas, isn't it?
I know. So I never really know what I want. So I just say, oh, yeah, get me anything. I'm not that organised to put it in a spreadsheet. But no, we have spreadsheets come our way and you pick items, liaise with family members and boyfriends to know that you're not buying the same thing. I just don't go for the most expensive thing on the list and I'm normally all right.
Wow. That's quite organised, I must say.
Yeah. Oh, although last year my granddad he comes every year to have dinner with us, Christmas dinner, and my younger sister who lives with him was getting quite into the Christmas spirit actually, and he ended up coming to our house dressed as Santa Claus. Bless him, he's 88. Wow. And he said, I thought I'd add a bit of cheer to the year and came dressed as Santa Claus. It was very, very sweet, bless him.
Oh wow. I love those bits. Maz, would you do any singing in church now over Christmas? Would you be into the singing part of it?
Well, worship songs, come on, of course.
Yeah.
Except, even popular ones that are like Silent Night, Oh Holy Night, with the actual focus on,
yeah,
Christ. But so I'm a big fan of singing. Yeah, not as a family. We don't like hold hands and sing like Yahoo, da. We're not like doing like scenes from movies in our home. Someone's playing the piano. That was the Grinch. That was the Grinch. Yahoo, da. Anyway. So no, nothing cheesy, Bing Crosby Christmas or anything, but at church, yeah.
Oh, do you know it's like Michael Bublé? That's another thing I don't like about Christmas.
She's definitely not. She's definitely not talking about Bublé songs, though. 100%.
But Christmas songs, that's another thing. Like like they come on a loop, and you have to listen to them over and over. And oh no,
you don't. I mean, you're standing out. You're sitting on your own under a tree.
Yeah, I'm having a lovely time.
You're absolutely going to be free of them. So, GP, do you do the worship singing, the Christmas singing?
So I would end up doing a lot of services because Mum's involved with church, which means you end up doing sort of 2 or 3 services on Christmas Eve, plus midnight mass, plus another one on Christmas Day. So I do get through my share of Christmas themed Christian songs by the end of Christmas Day.
And do you get tired of them?
I'm not tired in as much as you're just like, oh, here we go again. Silent night.
Maz, what interests me there is the popular ones and the unpopular ones. Or the less known ones. So Silent Night, that would go into the ones we all know.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so let me clarify. First of all, I start listening to Christmas music in November, and I am listening to Kelly Clarkson, Mariah Carey, so I'm not above that pop culture music. But, there would be ones like, sure, I don't know, like contemporary Christian artists have some Christian songs that I would like. Yeah, most definitely would not know them. Oh, I don't know. I don't know off the top of my head. Oh.
What about Hark the Herald Angels? That's.
Oh, sure. Yep. Yeah, I don't know how.
I definitely don't get exposed to many of the modern Christian ones.
You're with the old.
We go through the classics.
Your Old Testament.
What church? Yeah.
Even the church, no. Just go through the classics.
The hymns. Yeah.
We have
Hymns
a
are
new
good too.
Christmas. We have a new Christmas tradition in our house of having to move families every Christmas. I think we talked about it on Christmas specials previously, and I'm sure we'll talk about it this year again. But Nicole, the good news is we're back in my house this year.
You decided to do Christmas in one house together. You're going to see your wife on Christmas Day this year.
No, I did it last year as well. I did it last year, just begrudgingly for the whole Christmas. I ended up.
Didn't you drink like a whole bottle of gin in one night at Christmas?
I drank a bottle of gin on Christmas Day.
That was it. I knew there was something in there.
I started around noon, and I was wrote off by 5 o'clock.
There were Christmas songs playing at Glenham, by the way. I got there.
It was
ridiculously early on the Saturday morning. It was still dark, and I was walking from my car, and there was this Christmas song playing, and I was like, what the hell is going on right now?
Through the mist.
Through the mist, like I appeared.
Unacceptable until December.
Yeah, selection boxes are out at the moment as well, which is a travesty. Right, lads, the absolute joke that all of us are on Alphabetti. I mean, we've done two things. You've been wasted on the young. I think we'll have to do, Nicole, have to go around and do the one-word answer game for a while, because otherwise we'll get through nothing here. This will annoy Nicole now so much that I've made this a one-word answer. Yellow. What do you think of the colour yellow? Maz?
Great.
Aimee?
Indifferent.
GP?
Bit of a middle of the road colour, really.
Okay. Rosie?
Joyful. Brightens you up, doesn't it?
Nicole, one word answer.
Toby.
It's Toby's
favourite colour. At the minute, everything is yellow. I asked him what we would buy. So Ol's birthday, as we're recording this, is this coming weekend, and he is the big 40. He won't thank me for saying that on the podcast.
Is he?
What he'd like to get Daddy for his birthday, and Toby said whiskey, at which point he obviously knows Ol very, very well. And I said, oh, what kind of whiskey? And he went, yellow whiskey. So
yellow whiskey. Well, I'm sure Oliver will appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
I like this one, lads, from Pip. Yearbook. What award would you end up with?
That's
you guys
difficult.
know this? We didn't have this now in our school. Didn't do this kind of stuff.
I never had a yearbook at school.
But you kind of know what I suppose it is, that they nominate you for most likely to be future president or one of those things, isn't it?
That would be Maz.
That would be Maz.
Oh yeah, we decided that earlier.
Yeah. Can you imagine Maz's hand on the nuclear war button?
My moral compass is really
absolutely hate that. Knickers, would you get a yearbook award? Do you know where that goes? Would you be most likely to end up on TV?
Do you know what that would have been? The farthest thing that anybody would have said in my yearbook. Yeah. There would have been no most likely to be on TV. No way.
What would they have said about you then?
I don't know. Probably something like most likely to be a farmer or something.
Well, that's good as well.
I mean, I was that person that we used to take all kinds of animals into school if we could. If there was an excuse to take the cade lambs into school, we'd do it. If there was an excuse to be picked up to go somewhere with the horse, we'd do it. 100%.
We didn't have a yearbook, but I won an award on my last day of sixth form for the biggest hair change.
Oh my God, we need photos, Rosie.
Biggest hair change?
What did you do?
From what to what?
Well, when I started, secondary school for us started in year 9 when you're 14, and you went all the way up to sixth form when you're 18. And I went to school in year 9. I looked like Dora the Explorer. I had a short bob and a box fringe. So I was the walk-in version of Dora the Explorer. And by the time I got to sixth form, I had grown out the fringe, had more normal hair, had highlights, but was basically nearly blonde. So, I looked a bit different.
Oh, I would not have known that. GP, can you work a yo-yo? Do you even know what a yo-yo is?
I do know what a yo-yo is. I'm not that young.
You're not that. not that popular anymore, though. They were a big thing in the 90s when I was a lad.
I mean, like, I could when I was a kid. I wasn't the tricks. Like, I could do up and down. Maybe if I was lucky, I could kind of make it spin halfway for a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yes.
What are you laughing at, Aimee?
Just the very basic yo-yo skills there.
I mean, you couldn't answer that. You couldn't do up and down.
Was, can you use a yo-yo? Yes, I can. And I was talking through, what he really meant was like, can you do all the like? Maybe.
When did some company give away yo-yos? Like, was it Pringles or something? Like, you could get loads of different yo-yos. I remember at primary school, like, you could have like a 7-Up yo-yo and like all these different yo-yos, but they must have came from somewhere, and people traded their yo-yos. Like, that was a thing, wasn't it?
Northern Ireland.
I think that might just be the North.
But it was like a craze. People had different yo-yos. No.
What's great about this is brings together all the different years. Like, those kind of crazes last for like a year in primary school. And I'd say if we all went to the same type of primary school at the same, within 2 years, everybody would know what you're talking about. Yeah. But I mean, on this, everyone's like,
no idea, not a clue.
There's none of that. It was big when I was about 10 or 11. I remember the absolute excitement of, as you say, GP, all those spinning tricks and everything that you could do. Absolutely loved it. Did you have them in America, Maz?
Yeah, come on. Of course, we probably invented the Yoda. Let's be honest. We had them in America.
I mean, sometimes she actually had the hoop and a stick. Good day sometimes when they got that play with that toy.
I am the second oldest on the team. Yes. So yes, we had the yo-yo, and my skills matched GP's. So maybe GP and I could be in a skills contest, but
just
she probably edged me out. Yeah, just the basics. The light up yo-yo.
Yeah, big fan of those. Yodeling. Maz, actually, I'll stay with you. Yodeling. Does anybody in your hometown yodel?
Now, I'm wondering why you're asking me specifically about my hometown. You know, it's a small country town where we have a national yodeling convention. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my God.
Do you really, Maz?
No,
we don't. We don't. I don't know a lot about yodeling. I know that there was a pop artist. Who was it who yodeled at the beginning of her song? You guys would know her if I remembered. But Leanne Rimes, didn't she yodel?
What?
Leanne Rimes? You guys remember? She was like a bluesy country.
I remember Leanne Rimes. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't remember that she yodeled.
I think the people want you to. I think the people want you to yodel, Dee.
No, I would struggle now. I would actually be a very bad singer. It has to be said, a very bad singer.
But this is a yodeler.
Oh, okay.
I think that's wrong, Dee. I've edited Alphabetti letter X, and you had a bit of singing in that. That was quite good.
Thanks, Rosie.
There you go.
You're very good. You're very good. Knickers, something actually I don't know about you. This comes in from Mary 13. Yeast. Do you bake bread?
No.
I have baked bread, but no.
You don't? You don't? I break it, yeah. I like it, yeah. You don't?
You're doing yeasty breads, really. You do like
I do a porridge bread. Yeah. Yeast actually got very...
it was hard to get.
It's hard to get, wasn't it?
Lockdown. It was.
Yeah. The sourdough craze took off, and it was like gold, it was gold dust.
I'll be honest, the sourdough craze made me irrationally angry because there were all these people having a lovely time on furlough, like fannying around making bread, while I was in a caravan baking my backside off, working with a 18-month-old in a confined space.
I was a lockdown baker. I bought a very expensive kitchen mixer thing.
Did you? How expensive now? How expensive?
Well, it was like... Well, if my husband's listening, it was in the sale. But it was about 400 quid. It was about 400 quid. And I used it extensively for a few weeks. And then, promised I would use it every day, every week.
Would you sell that on now? Would you cut some of your losses on that now if I was to offer?
Do not get into a bidding war, Aimee. Just
no, it's the
vote.
kind of thing that looks nice in your kitchen, you see, regardless of whether it's being used or not. It's one of those.
No, but think of the cash. Like, you have 200 quid in your back pocket now.
No, I do use it. I do use it.
You have a mixer, D, and it's actually really useful. And I've used mine since you tried to buy it off me. Well, I tried to give it to you, and you still said no. So don't get into a bidding war on mixers.
Well, I do use mine. I used it this week. Where I'm trying to get rid of all of the eggs that our chickens are producing. So I have actually baked twice this week.
What have you done?
I did. So we've also got apples. So we had apple sponge this week in the mixer. And what else? There's something else. I made an apple crumble, but I didn't use the mixer for that. So just pavlova, things like this.
Do you put much sugar into your apple crumble?
No, I like it quite tart, like not. So I make it, and it's quite
I can't enjoy it without
then,
sugar.
Well, I don't put enough in it, and then William adds, like my husband adds the sugar after. He says, "Oh, Aimee, that's far too tart for me." I'm like, "Well, it's called apple tart, you know."
What's the most anybody has ever spent on a kitchen appliance, other than Aimee? Because that has to be the most, Aimee, doesn't it?
Yeah, other than like a fridge or an oven or something boring.
Yeah,
that's probably the most expensive.
400 quid.
I can beat her.
You can beat her.
I can beat her. I used to be really into green juicing. Okay, this is a couple years ago. Anyway, they have a Norwalk juicer that's like $1,000, $2,000 or something. This was my cop days when I was just rolling in dough, and I just bought like this, and then I sold it because come on, and I sold it for like $1,000 or something. So I was all right. But yeah.
So it was £1,000 to make juice.
Well, because it was a kind of the way it made it, you could like make it in bulk and then like store it. So I didn't have to make it fresh every morning. Yeah.
And did it like chop the vegetables? Did it chop the fruit and vegetables before you and like cleaned up after itself and all for that money? It
was a rigmarole and I regret the decision.
$2,000. We can end this game here.
Something like that. One or two.
Yeah.
What's money anyway? What does it matter?
It's your health, man. It's your health.
Inject goodness into you.
Yeah. Health has no cost.
Wow.
GP, you have to go and do horses, and Nicole has to go and pick up a child. So we're into the end of Alphabetti Y. What a joy this was. I mean, I think we could sit here forever and do this.
4 letters. Done well.
4.
I feel like this has really just been more of like a social chit chat. That actually we've robbed the listeners of proper Alphabetti Y.
I'm feeling the listeners may request a Y part 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're going to be disappointed by this.
That is not how this works. This is Alphabetti Y, Nicole and GP.
I mean, it does. If Nicole hosts it, the rest of us get back together again. We don't have to invite you. We'll do a Y part 2.
On Alphabetti Spaghetti?
Yeah.
I don't think. I mean, Nicole, no matter how much on my deathbed I ever am, and Nicole's like, do you want me to just step in? I'll do Alpha. I'm like, I think I can manage it.
Yeah, every time.
I never. It's the one thing I never let go. And we're so close to the end of Alphabetti. I think if we start getting into part 2s of Y, then I think it's more just becomes more of a trick. Sure, we could keep going part 2 forever. Yippee-ki-yay! Who remembers that? Why is it the greatest Christmas film ever?
Yippee-ki-yay?
Pardon?
Yippee-ki-yay?
You have to do it properly. Do that actually?
No, I know. I want Nicole to say it again. Say it again.
Yippee-ki-yay? Is that what you just said?
Rosie, just make sure you clip that and put it into the entrance of every show for the rest of time.
Okay.
Yippee-ki-yay, and then you've got to put in the other word.
Huh?
No, you can't. Yeah.
This is anyone who's listening will appreciate the daily challenges I have with Nicole. Right. Yogurts. Let's end with yogurts. Actually, no. Before we go to yogurts, let's ask, has anyone ever been on a yacht?
Well, kind of.
Yeah.
Go on, Rosie. It sounds promising.
Well, I don't know, it's a yacht, but a very, very, very large boat. We knew some friends who had a boat, and that was our summer treat. We used to go out on the boat with them around Sandbanks area and go on their jet skis. It was great fun.
That's
really
good
fun.
If it's got jet skis,
definitely a yacht.
Yeah.
Well done, Rosie.
I thought for a moment it was going to be like the Irish ferries across there was what she was saying.
I'm not sure if it's a boat. That's a yacht, all right.
Well, more what I thought she was going to say is like being in Southampton, like there's lots of boats around. They probably like you go out and they're very water based, and maybe like one of them was just not a yacht.
Anyone else had a yachting experience?
I was on one once that was like moored in a marina. We had a little party on it.
That is where boats should stay.
Yeah, but I wasn't like, no, I didn't go sailing is what I mean. I wasn't like, out on the open sea. I was just like we were at a party and someone was like, do you want to go on my boat? And I was like, yeah.
Was that in like
Aimee, I'm going to ask you about that
something?
later.
No, it was in Carrickfergus Harbour in Northern Ireland, like the least glamorous location ever.
Okay.
It's a pretty good line to be able to pull out, isn't it?
Yeah.
Would you like it go on my boat?
Exactly. We were all there with bells on going, oh, this isn't as good as we thought.
I will give you a funny story. So I was having lunch with a guy today, and he was talking about an old friend of ours, and he said, I was chatting to, let's call this guy Fred, and he goes, I was chatting to Fred the other day, and geez, he's doing well for himself. I was like, oh, is he? Yeah, go on, that's great. And anyway, turns out this guy was on holidays on a yacht, and your man was like, and like, can you sail that? And he's like, oh no, there's no sailing. There's like 4 or 5 staff on board. You know, you kind of just go for lunch somewhere, and then they sail you from one place to another, and you then have dinner that evening on the boat, like quite far out in the sea, and you know, it's all you sleep there out way off everywhere. Anyway, I was like, geez, that sounds grand. But I mean, look, it is what it is if that's the holiday you're into. Anyway, then he goes, wait. He was beside Jeff Bezos's 20,000 square foot yacht. And he said, it's not like a yacht. It's just like it's like an Irish Ferries. But obviously it's not like an Irish Ferries, like, you know, but.
It's like a floating palace.
Yeah, exactly. And it cost $3 million a week to rent.
Oh my.
And guess who was on holidays beside them on Bezos's yacht?
The Tesla guy.
Beyonce or something.
Exactly. Beyonce and Jay-Z.
No way.
No.
Beyonce and Jay-Z. And at the very front of the yacht, you know what there was? I thought this was so cool. I'm not even into golf. But there was a set of golf clubs. And you're literally just firing balls out into the ocean.
No. It's like Seinfeld's.
Eco-friendly, they dissolve in the water.
Oh, I was going to say.
I love that on holiday though, when you see all the yachts all moored, and then like some of them have little, you know, you can't have a super yacht without your like Bugatti sitting outside, you know, to take with you dinner.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
It's unreal, isn't it?
I would like if I won like the Euro Millions or something, I would like to do that for a week just to pretend. But in reality, I'm not that glam.
Right.
I don't think I would like a yacht if I had all the money in the world. I don't think I'd buy a yacht, if I'm honest.
I think
but you'd like to go and experience it for
I'd go and experience it, yeah.
Sam gets seasick, so
I don't know if you'd get seasick on a big yacht though, because it's so large.
He gets seasick on Irish ferries. He's all over.
I got really sick on Irish ferries.
Like, he has to lie down, and like it wouldn't be much of a holiday for me now if he wasn't there, and if he was like lying in a little.
You could take Denise and not Sam.
Yeah.
I could, but then I'd have to have
you know.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah, but then you have to split up the relationship. It would get complicated.
Yeah. It's just so much. Actually, you know, I can't even joke, because every so often I put this on in the car and I forget what I've said. And she's like, no, go back, leave that bit on. And it's usually me slagging off Denise or her family or something. So I'm much more careful now. Of course I would take Denise, love of my life, great woman. Okay, let's finish then. Yogurts, or as some of you will call them, yogurts. Maz, yay or nay to a yogurt?
I would say yes to a yogurt. Yeah, I'm saying it differently. I would say yogurt at home, but you guys made me change my teas by accident, so I say yogurt.
Go on. What kind of teas?
I like a good yogurt, but So normally I would just say yogurt. I've been practicing my Irish accent.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah. You know, I like a tick set yogurt. And I've also made my own kefir. Oh, that's so Scottish. I don't know what that was.
What is kefir? That's more like Maz. What is kefir? Yeah, you mentioned this. What is kefir?
Yeah, it is another type of fermented milk, but it uses like different grains. Anyway, it's more powerful probiotics. Those in the know that you want to go with kefir.
Fermented. Do you have to like pull out the clunks of?
No, you have kefir grains and then you strain them out and then you reuse them. It's fabulous. It's great.
Oh, you reuse them. Did you buy a machine for this, Maz?
No, it was cheap and economical.
I mean, you haven't seen the like mold that grows in the. She has like a tub. We have quite a lot of
kombucha. Come on, it's kombucha. A tub. Look at GP's face. Anyway, we digress. Yes,
I ignored it.
Do you have a tub of mold in your fridge?
No,
kombucha.
You guys, it's kombucha.
No, it sits on the windowsill.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Protected from direct sunlight.
To stock it up on the penicillin in case she gets ill.
Yeah, you guys will all be coming to me. Okay.
Yeah, you know.
Protect and serve, Maz. That
is.
Wow.
Anybody into more basic yogurts?
Yeah, I love just like natural yogurt, like just plain old natural yogurt. I could eat a whole, bottle tub of natural yogurt. Like I have it on
a bottle of yogurt.
Natural yogurt on meringue. That's a nice dessert for me. Natural yogurt meringue.
Or cream
meringue
and strawberries.
Instead of like sour cream with fajitas and things, I use natural yogurt. It's very versatile. I like natural yogurt a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just surprised. Rosie's really passionate about natural yogurt. Probably the most she's really got invested in anything.
I feel that's like like the British farmers, like, you can try this.
Oh,
you can use our products for this. Rosie's the walking advert for natural yogurt.
Yeah.
I just think because a lot of
we know only too well on this show how the protection of British farming is going. They're big advocates of all things British farming. What do you think, Knickers? Come to you next on that.
Big fan of a petit filou.
Farm to fork.
I like a petit filou yogurt.
They'll be very processed now.
I'll be honest, like I wouldn't be a big yogurt fan. Like I like it enough, but I wouldn't go out of my way to eat yogurt.
I'd agree with you. It would be the same with me. As a child, I used to eat, I suppose, petit filou. What I eat, whatever gets them put in front of you. Froobs, I used to bring them in my lunchbox.
Frozen Froobs, best thing you can do. Little ice creams. Literally like the Froobs, chuck them in the freezer. Next day.
Ice cream. Still doing this, GP?
I think my all-time favourite yogurt is Rolo yogurts. Oh my god!
You know what?
I know what I'm buying Rosie for Christmas. I don't need no Excel spreadsheet. I'm just going to buy some yogurt.
Rolo
yogurt. In a few hours' time, she'll be going, "Oh my god, I didn't tell them about my Milky Way yogurt obsession." And when you get chocolate mousse, I love a chocolate mousse.
The Aero yogurt is quite good as well, Rosie. The Aero.
Yeah, I've had that one. That's very good.
Yeah, the chocolate mousse.
Is that yogurt though, or is that just like a dessert?
It's more of a mousse. Yeah, it's not really a yogurt. You have to be I think it has to be kind of white to be yogurt.
Yeah, it's in the same section in the fridge in the supermarket, but it's definitely
like a strawberry yogurt. Strawberry yogurt isn't white.
It's pink. You know what I mean? It's white based. Let's be honest. You know what I mean? If it's not overly processed, it's white based. You know what I mean, Aimee? You know what I mean? They're in the same region.
Yeah.
Right, lads. That's it. That's great. We've done it. I'm just going to fade Rosie out there because she's going heavy there now on the list of things. On the list of things that she's able to do with natural yogurt.
That's a different show.
Definitely don't need to go onto this podcast.
Oh, alrighty, we're finished.
And that was doing so well. And that absolutely was not what I meant.
Right, well done, everybody. We're through. Only one show to go. Last one is... When's the last one, Nickers? Save it for Christmas time, maybe.
It'll be coming soon, I actually think. So, and I don't know if I've told you this or not, Dee. So when we did this deal with Strawmax, it was to the end of the year, which we were one letter short. So there will be 2 more episodes, and I think there'll be the letter Z, and then there'll be a Christmas show. So sorry about that.
Well, you can do a Christmas special. I think, even though Aimee hates Christmas specials and Christmas generally, I think what we could do is what did she describe it as, Maz? Time off ruined by people or something.
Something like that.
Obligation.
I think we could do a Christmas. I think we could do a live show. I think we could do a live show, and we'll do it live, and people can send in suggestions live, and we'll discuss them.
That'll be fun.
We'll do. Yeah. Sorry for doing on-air admin. Okay, there's 2 to go.
I've got to go and get my child, so
go on.
I'm going to have to run.
Right, Chacha.
Bye,
Been a pleasure. Bye, guys. Oh, I have to hang up though.
Bye, Maz. Bye, Aimee. Bye, GP.
Bye.
Bye.
Rosie, come back to us. We're all leaving now, okay?
Okay.
Right.
Bye. She's just thinking of you, Valley. That's all she's doing.
All right, well done, everybody.
Thank you for listening to the EquiRatings Eventing podcast.
Have a wonderful day, everybody, and I look forward to having you back with us soon.
Don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram for more.
Listeners, we'll speak to you again soon.